cash game is a lot about consistency. You're not gonna make your whole money from the year in one day. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna make money like this. Imagine your graph, okay? Your graph. You're gonna make money like this. So always, instead of being focused on how much money you made today, focus on playing better than the opponents you're playing against, and focus on, like, always when you put it all in, or for example, when you put in a big pot, you have the biggest equity. Let's say you go all in for 500 and the guy calls, and then you have ace king and he has ace jack. Your job is done. You understand what I'm saying? If you put your chips in a good spot, doesn't matter what the cards do, your job is done. Because one of the things that you have to focus on what you can control. What is not under your control doesn't worth your time or your stress, you know. Because, for example, I'll send you my graphs, and you will see sessions that I lose 1500. You'll see sessions that I lose 2000, and I'm not gonna tell you that it doesn't hurt. It hurts, but it's part of the game. That's why poker is so popular, because even the worst player is gonna have one day that he's gonna make a lot of chips, and this worst player is gonna fall in love with the game right in that moment, but through time he's gonna give it all back. So if even the worst player, there are days that he wins, you need to understand that even if you're the best player in the world, is gonna have days that you're gonna lose. Sometimes nothing will work out, sometimes you make mistakes, and when you make mistakes, the most important thing is learning from your mistakes. You gotta be adaptable, bro. A lot about making money in cash game. Imagine yourself, you're an animal right now. Imagine you are a lion. Lions eats other animals. Man, in poker, it's kind of how it works. You gotta eat other people. You gotta take money out of other people. For you to make money, other person necessarily has to lose. So if you put in your mind that you gotta make money out of that guy, out of that guy, out of that fish, out of that whale, it makes sense. Because every money that will come to your pocket is gonna get out of the pocket of someone else. So you gotta understand that. Poker is like a wild, for real, especially cash game. Because, for example, tournament, you have chips and you wanna go until the end of the tournament. Okay, but cash game, the money that you're making is getting out of that guy that is right in your side. The less information they have from you, the better. Because one of the things that get in front of, like, not getting in front, kind of make my life harder is that I have a camera in front of me. So because I have a camera in front of me, that leads to questions. Oh, what do you do? Oh, what is that? Is that a vlog? Oh, what's the name of the vlog? Poker Profit. That's information. If I didn't have a vlog, I would be making more money now. I'm pretty sure. Because people, I wouldn't have to say nothing, you know. I'll advise you, be quiet at the table. Be quiet, it's better. And be quiet, and you see that guy talking a lot, that's information. Just hear it, and try to understand how his ranges work. Try to understand, he opens from the cutoff. Try to really imagine how his range looks like here. And then you see ace jack from the button. Let's say a guy that is there to have fun. Usually the guys that are there to have fun, they are not playing optimally pre-flop. So for example, they are raising hands that they shouldn't, most likely. Because one of the leaks that many players have in live poker is lack of patience. Man, there's a lot of people that burn money pre-flop. There's one thing called board texture. I was talking about pre-flop, but let's go to post-flop now. Depending on your position and how you play pre-flop, the board will favor your range or the range from the other guy. What do I mean by your range or the range from another guy? Let's say you're in the big blind, someone raises from the under the gun, and you call from the big blind. So is 1-2, he raised 10, and you called from the big blind. And then the flop comes 7, 8, 9. Rainbow. This flop favors more your range than the range from the under the gun. And I'm not saying that the range from the under the gun is weaker than yours. No. The range from the under the gun is better than yours. He has all the aces, all the kings, all the queens, all the jacks, all the tens, all the ace king, all the ace queen, all the king queen suited at least, but probably king queen off, king queen jack suited. He has many great hands in his range. But you have, the flop was 7, 8, 9. You have 5, 6. You have 6, 7. You have 7, 8 that is two pair. You have 7, 9 that is two pair suited. You have 8, 9. You have 10 jack. So this range, you pretty much have all the nuts.
What on the button, right?
No, on the big blind. You're in the big blind.
Okay, big blind.
Yeah, on the big blind. Yeah. So you have 7s, you have 8s, you have 9s. I'm just trying to make you understand of board textures. Why? Because you were talking about flush draw. A great spot for you to be aggressive when you have a flush draw is when the board favors your range and you have a flush draw. In that moment, you becoming aggressive and putting pressure on him to make him fold is good. Why? Because you're putting pressure, you're telling a good story because the board favors your range, and you have a good shot and a flush draw. That's 40% of equity. So even if he calls, you still have 40% of chance of winning. But you want him to fold. Do you understand that? Are you understanding what I'm saying? When you are flush draw, open-ended, those things, and you are able to tell a good story and put pressure on the guy, do it. Do it. With the goal of making him fold. But in case he calls...
How much to bet on the flop?
Okay.
Around 50%?
Okay. In my vlogs, you will have plenty of examples that I do that. Plenty. And you'll see the sizing. But I usually, for example, it depends, for example, if it's in the flop, and I know I'm gonna still bet in the turn most of the times, even if I don't hit it, I make a sizing that shows strength and that the pot gets to a size that I can make a really good bet on the turn that will put a lot of pressure on him. You understand? Because my goal is to put pressure on the guy to make him fold. So always try to be smart and adaptable to the situation. Man, you're a human being, bro. You have the capability of being rational and finding the good reasons why to do what you need to do. I'm really trying to be adaptable and make the best decision, because in the end, bro, your job is assimilating the most amount of information you can. Assimilating everything, understanding what is happening, and after that, adapting and taking the best decision you can. In one day, you will make thousands of decisions. I'm not exaggerating. You make thousands of decisions in one day. The first decision that you make is what game to play. Many people might misunderstand me when I talk about a lot about table selection, because they might think I'm not trying to make you the best player you can, and that's not what it happens. I'm just trying to put in my students' head that strategy makes a difference, and even if you're the best player in the world, you would still want to play against the worst players in the world. You understand? It's better for you. You'll make more money against a bad player than against a good player. That's obvious, you know? And what I see many people doing is, like, let's say there's a guy in the table that he's really good, and he's playing in a 2-5 table that there is 4 recreational players that are playing bad. And this guy is playing 2-5. But then there's a 5-10 table that just opened up with a bunch of regs. And this guy leaves the table 2-5 with 4 recreational players and go to the table 5-10 with a bunch of regs. For me, that doesn't make sense. I would go to a 5-10 table if there were at least 2 recreational, 3 bad guys. But no, there's a bunch of regs that are trying to play well, and here there is 4 recreationals that are doing a bunch of crap. I'm gonna stay here, bro. Stay here. Your mindset has to be of a sponge. Absorb the good things. If you see a guy doing a right thing at the table, absorb it. Understand what he's doing and absorb it to you. Get all the good things that you see from it. You're seeing this class that you're giving right now. Absorb the way I think. Absorb the things I'm telling you. Really understand what I'm telling you here and absorb the good things and don't absorb the bad things. Absorb what you think that it's worth for you to absorb to your game. Poker is a game. It's not like soccer. It's not like football that you, when you make 40 years old, 35 years old, your physics is bad. No, bro. Your brain is a sponge and you can always improve. I'm sure, unless I don't know, have some big bad thing with my brain, I'm sure with 40 years old, I'm gonna be way better. Not only way better player, but a better person too. You understand?
Yeah.
You work with your brain, bro.